Yep. Welcome to the Tip Network, where we help you level up with your self-improvement.
Yes, with a little
Come on, man.
sprinkle. Yeah. Something special we have here today. So a lot of times in this world, men have disagreements, and it is important for us to understand, especially in the space we are, that disagreements must be handled in a way that is responsible. And even if a disagreement starts off with a threat of violence, because with a man, no matter what, there's always an underlying, even if it's a low level threat of violence. And we have to, as adults and as leaders in the community, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's at home, whether in your family, and in your community, you have to learn how to transfer this into a usable moment, an understandable moment, so everybody can grow. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce two. First of all, with the brief conversation I had, I can certify that these are two intelligent men. One of them we know really well.
Upstanding citizens.
Well, I don't know about upstanding citizens, but
let's not go too far.
Let's not go too far. But I can say this. For the short conversation I had, and when men have a short conversation, eye contact, respect, and of course, one of the gentlemen is somebody who's been affiliated with the Tip Network since the beginning of us really stepping up, and somebody who's really supported us. So, of course, when I'm approached to mediate a disagreement between grown men, as an older fellow, look at the gray hair, I take it as not only my duty, but a honor and a privilege. So first, we're going to introduce, the away team. No, I'm playing. We're going to introduce Mr. Allen. We're going to bring him up into the screen.
Bring up Allen first?
Bring up Allen.
Okay. Let me make sure I'm doing this right here. Hold on, guys. Struggling. There we go.
And Allen. And
wait. I muted you. Okay.
All right.
We're good now.
Mr. Allen, hello. Thank you very much, sir. And Allen, do you have would you like me to call you by Mr. and your last name? Would you like to be called Allen?
Just Allen. Yeah. I'm younger than you, so don't call me Mr.
Okay. Well, see, I can tell you from the South because so is my family. So I can just tell I'm younger than you. Stop. So why don't you go on and introduce yourself? Tell us a little about yourself, and then we'll bring up Mr. Gordon.
Okay, my name's Alan. I'm 24 years old. I actually originate from South America, Argentina, and my family immigrated here to California, the U.S. to California when I was like 2 years old, and I left the bird's nest and wanted to, see if I could survive on my own. Turns out I can, and I guess I'm just trying to figure out life as I'm going through it, and I like questioning things. So that's why I questioned your friend, and I'm just your run-of-the-mill, young guy just trying to live life and have fun.
And so I know you're a busy man because I was talking to you backstage, and you told me how you just finished up work. So why don't you tell us what you do for work the best way you can? Of course, don't dox yourself or anything like that.
Yeah.
Too much information.
Actually, I started my own company. I build sheds. I used to build them through a contracting company through Lowe's. I'm sure if you've ever been to a Lowe's, you've seen like the sheds out front in their parking lot. I used to build those for like $200 a day, like the whole building in a day, right? And I would break my ass to build them. And then I realized I was never gonna get rich working for someone else. And I still don't know what I'm doing, to be honest with you, but I put up ads, I marketed myself, and I found enough people that want to pay me to build, a little tiny home for them or a shed in their backyard. And I went from $200 a day profit to 3,000 profit after material. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm actually like doing something good as opposed to just like, being a wage slave at a retail place or something that isn't going to really benefit me long term.
So first of all, I can relate to being a wage slave at a retail place. But second, I am very impressed that a man of your age has decided to be an entrepreneur. Just background of this network. We started off highlighting entrepreneurs in the Bay Area and the San Francisco Bay Area. And of course, we evolved to self-improvement. But that is a great story of self-improvement. Excellent. So how did you, and I'm just setting this up, how did you find out about authentic alphas? How did you find out about that?
It didn't start off good, unfortunately. I saw yesterday, literally not even 24 hours ago, I saw a TikTok about this girl was saying like, hey, like, and I don't know the full story. I just assumed because of the video that I saw, and I was
Mhm.
trying to instigate because I'm a young guy. It's fun, especially online. And I saw a video of a girl saying, hey, this asshole like flipped us off or whatever, and then it showed, what's it, Ayundai? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Allende.
Allende.
Allende. It showed Allende um, flipping off the woman recording and saying, "Follow my channel, Authentic Alphas," and that left an impression. So I went to his Instagram, and then I just like started messing with him in the comments of his
Mm,
post, just being a troll and just instigating. Yeah,
mhm.
that's what that's what it was. That's pretty funny. And yeah, I didn't think anything would come of it because I talk smack online 24/7. It's just fun to get into arguments. I'm a young guy. It's fun to fight. Um, and then he messaged me on Insta, and then we were just going back and forth or whatever. And then
Yeah.
he started a
Well,
FaceTime call. Yeah.
well, before we get there, I got enough background for it, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, good.
I'm gonna. We want to bring up, you know, Mr. Authentic Alphas himself,
Yeah.
AyindeiGordon,
Yeah.
and then we'll let him give a little background, even though his story is well known, but I'll let him give a little background. I want to give him the same amount of time, which is about 2 minutes that I gave you. Okay.
Great.
All right.
All
So
right.
we're going to go ahead and bring up Allende
And here he is.
of Authentic Alphas. Let me unmute you there.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What is going on, Allende?
Hello,
How are
sir.
you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah. So, got the lighting on point again. You're getting good at this YouTube game. Anyway,
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
So look, I know we learned a little about Alan. Kudos to the young man too, 24, starting a business. I don't care what kind of argument y'all had. I got to give props where props are. You start a business at 24, and you're my brother, but I got to give some props with that. And you know what? Knowing the man you are, I know you would give props to that too. But I want to hear from your point of view what happened, and then we're going to give you about 2 minutes to introduce yourself to everybody who knows you. Because if you're on our stream, you've been here like 3 times, and then we're gonna then just let you recap the situation. It's about 4 minutes in total, and that's what we gave Mr. Allen. Okay, we're all agreed to that.
That's
good, because I want to make this as absolutely fair as I can. So here we go. We're going right now.
Okay. You guys know me, Allende. I'm the host of Authentic Alphas. And that name is chosen not because I'm, calling myself a self-proclaimed alpha. It's just I've been referred to one. So I encourage guys to define that for themselves. That's why it's plural. Just make sure that whatever it is that you do, you're being authentic within that. So, I am a semi-retired professional bodybuilder. I'm also a visual artist. As well as I've done security, bartending, a whole bunch of different things in the gamut. So I talk mainly about masculinity, manhood, and how guys can get better results out of life, conquering those concepts. Now, as for the gentleman, Alan, I get a lot of negative feedback on social media, and unfortunately, that's just part of the game. I had to deal with some ladies today. I met 2 different women within a space of 10 minutes that are familiar with Fresh and Fit. So they were like, "No, we're not coming on your podcast. We never will. You alpha guys." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not those guys." So I get a lot of negative assumptions just based on the nature of the community that I'm in, as well as the name that my channel has, and also, of course, my physical appearance. So, the type of comment that he had made wasn't necessarily unique, but the universe somehow told me to respond to him as I usually don't respond to people like that at all. I usually just block and delete, like right away, instantly, But just something told me, like, say something back to this guy, and I insulted him. I insulted his girlfriend, which I'm, obviously not proud of.
Ooh.
And I kind of was, jabbing at it, and so we kind of went back and forth in the DM. And I said, fuck this, I'm getting frustrated. So I just called him and I was like, yo, say the shit to my face. And he was like, I'll say it to your face. Where are you? So
Hold on. I'm gonna pause your time, which you have a good minute left, because I'm gonna laugh and I'm gonna make a comment. All right. So one thing I love is like, say it to my face. It's like, nah, I'll say it to your damn face. It's like, damn. So, lightweight respect, right? You got to be like, okay, well.
No. I liked it. To be honest with you, the more I interacted with him and engaged with him, is the more I started to like him. If I'm being honest, I like violence, but I also like men that know how to control themselves, which sounds like two extremes. So I don't know, maybe I'm a hypocrite. But I like sheer violence, but I also like guys that can control themselves. So it's weird like that, but I like both extremes. So when he said that, I loved it. You know what I mean? Because I believe that if two guys can fight and then shake hands afterwards, I mean, that's a beautiful thing, because you both know the heart of each other. You know what I mean? And I value that.
Absolutely. Okay, so now since young Alan was the instigator, I'm gonna let him say exactly what he was upset about, or if he wasn't upset, what his point was, or why he felt the need to reach out to somebody. Okay, because I mean, look, my background is I'm in operations, and things need to make sense to me. There has to be a why, because I see stuff that upsets me all the time, and I don't like, I'll show the world, so that I'm sure that's not his case. But I would just like to know and give him a little time to articulate what made him upset. And so whenever you're ready, sir, we'll go right now. Okay. Mr. Allen.
Yeah. So I saw the video of him flipping off a woman. And then, he said, follow me, my name's Authentic Alpha. And I was like, oh, it's a run of the mill, like, woman hating guy that speaks on like just like toxic views and such. And I always like just poking around, seeing what it was about. I genuinely didn't think he was going to reach out
Can you go into your perception of run of the mill? I guess you want to say
yeah. So
go into that perception.
There's like a bunch of clips online of like just men saying things that's like they feel like they're making a good point, but then it's like some like it just sounds like some really aggressive like women belong to men kind of thing. And I've always been kind of like wary about people like that, because like growing up in the Hispanic community or whatever you want to call it, like in high school and stuff, you always see like very sexist views and very very aggressive views towards women that are just kind of shitty. And I grew up with a lot of sisters, and my mom was a single mom, so I got that like kind of disdain for men being aggressive towards women. It always kind of rubbed me off the wrong way. And like me personally, I wouldn't fight with a woman or try to like flip her off or like just things like that, And then I was just trying to get a reaction at him, and it just one thing led to another, and then 24 hours later we're here doing a live stream about it, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna call time there. I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna give you some more time to reply, and then we'll go to Ayindei's response to that perception of what you felt he was, right? Mm-hmm. So the question is that I know you said there's no reason to be aggressive towards a woman at all or flip off a woman. So I just want to clarify. You think, and this is not a gotcha, by the way. Yeah. This is a way for you to clarify, and if it's yes or no, you think there's no reason to flip off a woman? You ain't never flipped off nobody in traffic?
I definitely have, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I definitely have,
okay.
Yeah.
So and I'm not trying to catch you anything. No, I just always think that nuance is a part of life. Mm-hmm. And as a moderator, I would say that if somebody says, well, there's no reason to flip off a woman, because there's always a reason to flip somebody off. Now I would say this, and I would pose it as this, and then I'll go to Ayindei. And this is just me personally. Mm-hmm. Short of being threatened with a high level of violence, there's no reason to touch a woman. Short of being threatened with a high level of violence, meaning that, I'm not going to sit here and just let you stab me or something.
Yeah, no.
or like take off the heel of your shoe and hit me with it, because
then it's fair game.
Yeah. But you know, if you're throwing a stupid swing at me, I'll probably just try to remove myself from it, because I don't like legality. So next we're going to go to Mr. Gordon, and what we're going to do is we're going to let you reply to that perception, and if you think that perception is accurate, and just to recap it, it's the perception that like so many alpha males or men who call themselves alpha, I guess I would say, this comes off as over aggressively anger towards women. And do you have a certain is that certain perception that's out there? Is it true in some ways? Can you see? And then we'll boil it down, and I'll give you time to reply to rebuttal like I did him when I asked you a question. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So go on.
Well, I mean, really, like, after like some words and insults were thrown, like where I kind of went next with it was like, well, what do you want? Like, what is your intention? Like, why do you message me? And like he went on to basically describe, the type of content that he didn't like, or the attitudes and ideas that he was offended by. And at first I started getting more angry and more irritated, because I felt like I was being attacked. Like you're telling me that's how I am. It's like, you don't even know me. That's not how I am. And then I kind of was trying to like, well, hold on. Let's put this into perspective. I was actually looking for the got you moment. The same moment that you're saying you're not trying to get, I was trying to get that moment from him. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, so what videos of mine have you seen? And then he started telling me about, well, most guys that use this terminology. And I'm like, whoa, don't tell me about most guys. Don't tell me about most guys' content in the space. Tell me about my personal content. Have you seen any of my content? And he was like, well, I did look, and I saw, you had a short. And I was like, you mean a 60-second clip? And he's like, yeah, and you were being very aggressive to the women, and you were being offensive. And I was like, well, hold on. Did you see the whole interview? And he was like, well, no. And I was like, so you're judging me off of 60 seconds, and I have 300 videos worth of content. And that's when it started to kind of calm down. And I said, okay, you know what? Moving forward, let's just be cordial and respectful to each other, and let's try to figure this out. And as we started talking, we realized we had a lot more in common. And I'm also very upset and irritated with the way that these guys are putting this type of content and information out there, and the type of perception that they're creating for men in general. So it's like you're giving these labels a bad connotation when they don't naturally have it. So an alpha is not something that was supposed to be negative or abusive or offensive to women, but it's becoming that because of the people that use that moniker.
Okay, well, so you actually answered my question that I was going to ask you, because my question was like, how do you see your content? And so I'm going to give you just 20 seconds to sum it up. How do you see your content in contrast to what he said? Okay. And do you think parts of your content can be characterized like that?
Absolutely. At times I can be a very passionate person, which is interpreted as aggression. And I can't even be too upset with him, because my own subs don't get it. I'll put content out that's very neutral, and they get in the comments like, yeah, these girls are for the streets. And they make all these assumptions about these women. And the thing is that I can take a stance of, no, actually, you're wrong, because I actually spent an hour talking to that female. You know what I mean? I actually got to know her somewhat. And I'm actually a very good judge of character, and I see through a lot of, screens, and I read in between many thin lines, and I'm like, no, you're wrong about that one. So even the guys that support me still get it wrong. Excellent. Still think that I'm trying to say something negative.
Excellent. Okay, so thank you for clarifying that. Wow, this is going a lot more organized than I thought it would. I'd like to thank both of you. So lightweight, I hate public debates, especially like on StreamYard, because like people usually talk over each other. I want to take just a little time out to thank both of you gentlemen for the respect, the maturity, for a couple of guys who I can say, I know both of y'all are younger than me. So the maturity that you've shown. And by the way, this is how conversations are supposed to happen. You don't have to be at each other's throat to have a real conversation. Okay. So now with that being said, I'm going to ask Mr. Allen a question, okay? And then I'm going to probably flip the question a little and ask you. So, Mr. Allen, have you seen much content from the men's space, or do you just see clips? And if you see, and have you, since you've had this conversation with Ayinde, so the question hasn't started yet. Since you've had this conversation with Ayinde, have you watched one of his videos?
The only thing I saw was what I saw on TikTok. It was a short, like not even a 60-second clip. It was like maybe like a 10-second clip that I unfortunately based my whole personality off of. So that's all I saw. And then I associated that with the Authentic Alpha title, and I was like, oh, it's another men's podcast that just puts down women or says like these like one-line zingers to associate with like men that would want to like think those kinds of things. I suppose I've only this is my first time hearing about you guys.
So which podcasts have you seen? But if you know what, if you don't know them, if you know a name, that's fine. If you don't know a name, that's fine. But what have you seen out there that's offended you? And then if not, I'll name out a couple of popular ones. So.
Yeah, I don't remember the name unfortunately, but I always see the clips on TikTok. Like it's that one. I can only describe him. He like sits with like 10 women at a table, and then he just that sounds like a battle. Like that's one of the ones that I've seen, and just like I feel like it's always kind of funny for like us four men to sit here and then talk about what women think or feel without getting one of their opinions or something like that. Because I think like we can only assume what we perceive and not what it actually is intended by. That's it. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. I mean, he could be a great guy too, because I assume the worst of him.
He's not.
I did. Okay, so now you understand my like jump to assumption, because like I see him talking that, and I saw you saying, "Hey, fuck you, lady," and I was like, "Oh, okay, it's just another guy."
No, but I could tell you. Okay, so that is that answers a lot of answers a lot of questions.
Let me just say,
please.
I'm sorry, Yanders. I'm terrible with names.
Ayinde.
I'm very sorry for how I immediately judged you. You've completely changed my opinion about you, and I feel like an ass for just thinking that you were this terrible guy, because you really aren't. You've been really cordial and straightforward since we've been talking in that sense. So I do want to apologize for just jumping the gun and thinking the worst of you.
I mean, likewise, bro. Likewise, I had to apologize to you too, and I insulted your girlfriend, and I was. I was defensive. I was being defensive.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I started it. I wanted to take responsibility for that. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, but we both could have just asked the question. So like we're guilty of the same thing. You could have just asked the question. I could have just asked the question.
We're looking in the mirror. Yeah.
So gentlemen, I want to say this, right? So a lot can happen in this space, and one of the things that I will say happens is that it's easy to jump to a conclusion, because the way that everything is made of small, digestible, and most sensationalist points.
Yeah.
So the question I want to ask Ayinde, Mr. Gordon, is, can you give us more context to that interview? And I don't expect you to explain your whole day, because, sir, you probably do about 755 interviews a week, I guess, because you have so much content up. But
so I want to give context to Alan. All right, so there's a whole series, and you can even watch it on our channel.
Okay.
I say we're hands down the best at documenting this whole impression.
I'm not gonna lie, lightweight.
But right there. So there's a personal history that you don't know about here.
Okay.
Really.
I like it.
I like it.
You know what? Let me comment on that. It was interesting when he said that for us to be four guys talking about women's behaviors, actions, and decisions without, consulting them, it's just our perception.
I actually want to come to that next, but I just wanted you to give some background on what you were doing. Then that's the second part of the question.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I thought that was very interesting. Because Alan, you don't know this, but it was my idea for him to interview groups of women, and for that very reason, because I felt like that was what was missing in the space.
Damn.
Everybody keeps talking about women, but there's no women present. So to everyone else, it's perceived as misogyny, being sexist, being toxic. And it's like, if you have these discussions with the people you're talking about, then they have an opportunity to explain themselves, defend themselves, rebuttal, whatever. And then you can't be taken as that person. I can't be a misogynist if I'm sitting across the table from several women and I'm respecting them and giving them their opportunity to speak their mind and tell us why they do what they do. And they bastardized that concept. They basically stole it from me. They used me to book all the females. I booked the first 160 women on that show, kept them beautiful and classy. And then they destroyed the whole concept to make a mockery of it and do what they're doing, which is intentionally exploiting the women and embarrassing them.
Yeah,
so
that's just what it seems like. It's terrible because it seems like they set them up to make these questions and make them answer things that then they could turn around and be like, "Hey, I got you," and it's that's just unhealthy.
Make them look dumb, try to expose them, catch them in a lie. And then when it comes to Black women, I'm extremely upset because right now the Black community has an issue with not having ownership of their image. And if you're going to be a man that's in charge of who's in front of the camera, then you have the responsibility to put the best possible representation in front of that camera. And they go out of their way to do the opposite. They try to find the most, ignorant, ratchet, unruly Black women that they can find, as to make the point that this is how Black women are. Whereas I'm trying to do the very opposite. I'm trying to get the classiest, most educated Black women on to try to give that perception.
Okay, so now that was Ayinde answering 5 questions here that I didn't even give him.
I'm sorry. Did I jump the gun?
Everyone's gonna think I like we've talked about this stuff. So Alan, just to let you know, I teach martial arts all day today. Okay. And so I literally walked in here 15 minutes before the stream.
Yeah.
And Scott said, moderate.
And I'm rushing like a madman.
Scott said, moderate this. And I just sat down and started moderating. So
you're doing great, man.
If anything, and especially and I want to address the investors, and my investors are the viewing audience, the people who take time to turn into us. All of the investors, I want to apologize if this seems jumbled, but I think it's important, and we're gonna give you guys some shout outs when I can. But it's important to understand that they had a situation here that they were rah with each other. They were raw when I said, okay, so I'm sounding old, huh? But there was a potential issue that could have happened. Now, Alan, I know Ayinde pretty well. And if it was a potential issue that happened, I mean, he's a man of his word. And so I'm really happy that 2 men, I take you as a man of your word. You're here right now, that you guys were able to talk it out, because that's what we need in this space. So, I want to go to Alan, and I want to ask you, how do you think things like this situation, especially when you're dealing with women, because whether we like it or not, it could be a men's space, but we're still going to have to deal with women.
Exactly.
So how do you think things could be better handled from that standpoint when you've seen Fresh and Fit, or what you've seen in clips? Like, in an ideal, how would you like to ask some ladies questions? Beautiful random ladies that you've never seen before, and or asking questions or find out information of what they're thinking and try to educate them on what men desire and men are thinking. 2 minutes to answer all of that.
Yeah, a healthy way to communicate between two sexes, basically. I mean, just the same way, maybe not the way me and him started, but just like the same way, just asking questions and allowing them to speak, and et cetera, et cetera. And I think the main thing that just like put me off was like authentic alphas, because every time I'm associated with a guy that says the word alpha, is just they've been kind of a dickhead about it, and they weren't really anyone reasonable. So I would just say, like, just jump from the gun. That's what put me off and made me see it differently. And I know that's what, when I told my girlfriend about it, she was like, oh, it's another channel that thinks that just they're alpha males, et cetera, et cetera. And she immediately has this like disdain viewpoint about it, because she's seen so many clips about like how men that have podcasts, like it's a running joke on TikTok now that men that have podcasts and talk about women, just say all these kind of ridiculous things that don't really make any sense, and just it's like a one-sided view of it. So I'm not one to tell you how to do your show, because you guys are professionals here, but just
I don't know about professionals here.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what you say.
To me, you're professionals, because this is my first time. But but I mean, just introducing the woman to the show, and then asking her how she feels about how you're perceived, because there's like what you intend, and then there's what it's perceived as. And unfortunately, we have all these preconceived notions about each other, both sexes do, because we see all these things online, and it's like you assume women hate all men, et cetera, men hate all women, and then it just gives you this like loaded gun before you even talk to each other and actually know what we want to talk about, or how we feel about it.
Okay. And so, just to summarize, you think that it should sit down, have a conversation with women. So my question is, what if a woman says something that is just empirically false? I'm going to give you an example of what's empirically false, right? Is that in order for and this is empirically false.
Okay.
And when I say empirically, I mean literally data shows this.
All right.
That men care more about a woman's academic achievement than her appearance.
So it's false that a man cares more about her
academic achievements than her appearance.
So he favors her appearance?
Initially, I've never heard a man say, "Wow, her degree is wonderful."
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair point. I mean, I think as men, we're very reactive to like images and like face value things. Like that's why we break our necks sometimes looking at a woman that we find attractive. It's just how we're just wired.
Absolutely,
it's a little bit barbaric, but I mean, it's the cards we're dealt. And I think it's just like at face value, you know, we value things that are more shallow in a sense, you know, like muscles, tattoos, et cetera, like that gives me more leeway with women than you know, me talking about my hobbies and stuff like that. Because I mean, we're simple humans and we like simple things, you know. Like at the end of the day, we react to very very shallow things, I suppose. You know, like a nice car over being like a loyal boyfriend or something like that. Like in the end, we want those big things, sure, but like short term, you know, we really value these things that like make us, you know, feel emotional about it. I think that's what it has to do too. Is like it's based off the emotional impact that it has. So it's like like lust, I suppose, versus, you know, being a built together adult that, you know, wants to seek out someone with a career as opposed to someone with a woman with a big ass or something like that.
Well, my point was that all right, so and I'll pose this and I'll just make this point. And I want to give Ayinde a way to, you know, a chance to say this. So let's say you're making, let's say you're pulling a bit $3,500 a week, and let's say you live in Iowa, where that's just your money's just going as far as it can.
Okay.
Right. So basically, $3,500 a week in Iowa, your money's stretching along. The important things, in my opinion, or the important things to you, will be more of how the value that your woman can add to your business. For instance, you may not be concerned that she has a PhD in sociology. You may be concerned that she can help you run your back office.
Okay.
It's something that you could teach her how to do, and her willingness to be that partner with you and let you run the business and make those decisions, trust you, but help you run the back office and add value. So instead of you having to hire a total stranger and pay money and make that economy, you want to keep the economy circular inside of your household. Like, baby, we keep all of the money instead of, hey, and then by the time you hire somebody, you're hiring somebody, it could be like a cousin or a family member. And now you're building generational understanding of how to run your business.
Right.
So what I'm saying, and this is just me adding on to what you said, I could give a damn if a woman has a PhD. I'm a PhD. I'm just Kevin Samuels. I'm sorry, I can't help it. But I don't care if a woman has a PhD in anything. If my business is to build houses, I care how she's going to help me with my housing business. And if her PhD isn't in line and she's like, well, look, I'm going to go do this, I don't want nothing to do with that, I may want somebody with an AA in accounting to help me balance these books. And she may add more value than that lady with a PhD ever could, because her willingness to get on my program and help me run my business.
Right.
And so that's a lot of things. So I would really invite you to watch some different content because that's some of the things that like a mature businessman thinks about, not somebody who just wants to yell at women. Now, Ayinde, I just wanted to segment that to tell you why I feel that like academics actually, even after you look at her and after the booty is big or whatever, right? Because you know, guys, booty big. I like it. Just look. You was doing 5 different other things, setting up another stream after this. And
But when I heard booty,
big, he popped up.
high alert, squirrel.
Yeah. And I deal with this guy all the time. I'm just telling you, everybody has their problem. But like that can happen, right? You could say that, but it's not only that. It's not even finding the best looking woman. It's finding the best woman for your situation to make your life and add value to your life. And sometimes she might not be the best looking woman, and that's really hard. That's the challenge for men. Now, Ayinde, what I would ask you a question, the same question. It's like to find a woman adding value to your life in just a way that you feel a woman can add value to your life. And where does the degree that she has fall into that? Is it necessary or, and I give you same amount of time. I give Alan a little over 2 minutes, so I'll give you about 2.5 minutes.
Okay. Well, look, I mean, you covered most of it, so I appreciate that. So what I would add to that is probably a woman that understands, what your purpose and your mission is, and understands how much it means to you, how important it is. And that could be very, very difficult. That could be even more difficult than a woman that's going to come in and work for you. Because that's probably not that hard to find. If you have a successful business already, that should be very easy. Just find a woman who isn't making that much money and be like, quit your job, come work for me. But a woman that understands the value and the magnitude of what it is that you're trying to do, as far as either leaving a legacy family-wise or leaving a legacy professionally. So that can be a little bit tricky because she has to believe in it as much as you do, or believe in you as much as you believe in your purpose. And take value and pride in that, say that, listen, this is what my man is doing or what my husband is doing. He's trying to make a change. He's trying to, uplift fatherless youth, or he's trying to create some type of program that's going to be here long after he's gone, something like that. So that, I would say, would be important to me, a woman that could understand how important the things I'm trying to do are and will continue to be long after I stop doing them. So planting that seed. And a lot of relationships I've had, the women thought the things that I were doing was futile, and it's like you don't see it. You don't see the big picture. So they rather me just make money. Yeah, they rather just me make money. Like even my girl now, it was a headache for her to understand, why would you leave training 10 clients a month for $1,000 each to go do YouTube for free? She's like, you're making 10 grand a month and you're gonna leave that to go do YouTube for nothing. And it's like, I'm trying to explain to her, you mean nothing in the beginning, nothing now, but when my YouTube is where I believe that it can be, I'll be exceeding 10 grand a month. She don't get it. She would rather me just stick with the guaranteed 10 grand a month. But it's like, I'm not happy waking up at 6:30 every morning to go train, 5 to 10 clients a day. That gets exhausting because I have to be with the clients to train them. So, and there's no way to scale that up. There's only 24 hours in a day. I'm only going to be conscious, 12 to 14 of those hours. How many clients do you really think I can fit into a day? She doesn't care about that. She's just like, yo, go make money and pay for nice things. You know what I mean?
Absolutely agree with you.
I gotta call time.
I gotta keep saying because I relate with that so much, bro. You bring back so much trauma of my life.
Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
Literally. But I don't blame them because I wasn't at a point of development, and it's like girls kind of they weigh at the finish line because they have to get the best of the male species, and that's fine. Like I look at things very logically when it comes to human mating strategies and how nature built us. It makes sense why they do what they do.
No, of course,
and that's what they should be doing.
Yeah. So funniest quotes are like, a lot of people watch this space that I don't know, right? That I don't know they watch this space. And some people in my
shout out to Chloe Roma, the Roma Ari and Men's Rights, because apparently she watched us.
She watched us and gave us a big shout out, which is amazing. Like a lot of folks watch this space. And one of the folks who are watching this space, I was just a random person. It's like, hey, you're that old dude. I'm always the OG. It's like, you're that old guy. And he says, yeah, man. He's like, look, he says, I have a daughter and I'm okay with her waiting at the finish line to tell the guy, good job, we did it.
We did it.
I want my daughter to have the best man that she could possibly do. And I said, well, I said, okay. But make sure she picks the best man, But I mean, it's just one of those things when people say that. When people say that, it's like it's just an understanding of the strategy. So I want to give Alan a chance to just retort anything that he heard. I mean, Ayinde, you said a lot.
Alan a question. Hold on, can I ask Alan a quick question?
Sure, of course.
How was your girl about you starting the business that you wanted to start?
She was very supportive.
Okay.
It was kind of a thing that I've been putting off for a while because I've been talking about like, oh, I could make so much money doing my own thing and like, et cetera, et cetera. And it wasn't like YouTube, you got to build it and grow it, and then eventually you'll make money. For me, it was kind of like a safe bet, and I knew that I would make money this same week. Like my first week, I profited out of $9,000, I netted 5, and that's pretty good for a first week of a business. I think that's great, you know, like, and especially me with like having like neck tattoos and shit. Like I didn't think I'd be doing that, you know, and like here I am, you know what I mean, killing it. But she was very supportive. Yeah.
If I may interrupt you, and I apologize for interrupting you, but one thing, my dad spent his career after the military in construction. A journeyman carpenter, a guy, I forgot the local he was out of San Francisco, but he was very proud of the ability to do a hard job for 27 and a half years and barely missed any days. So imagine how hard it was for me to go, hey Dad, I don't feel good at school today. It's like, boy, I go out at 6 a.m. to go. It's like, but But one of the few things that nobody really cares how you look, but how you can do it is building something. And I think that is very important. A lot of folks, they go and they spend millions of dollars. And when I say millions of dollars, I mean, I know somebody who's in debt almost $1 million to be a doctor. And like, I don't know how he did it. I know that his debt keeps on compounding. I don't understand it because my school debt had nothing to do with that, right? But when he told me how much it was, he told me he didn't have any financial assistance or something. He told me he was going high. And if anybody's in the stream who could tell me how much, you could just chat how much, you know, any doctors in the house, because I think I seen a vital message who has some medical knowledge. You could say how much it would cost without any, you know, assistance or anything going to private schools, because that's what he did. But like you're in a position where you didn't have to spend all that money. So that's pretty dope. And I want to give props to that. I want to ask a question though. How did she feel about the risk you were taking? Because you had to leave your other job. Like if it didn't work, you were just gonna not be out of work. So how did she feel about the risk you were taking? And how did she support you in that risk?
Just for reference, we live in separate households, so our incomes aren't really affecting each other like that. But as far as I remember, she was just telling me that I should go for it and, you know, try to achieve the goal I wanted, because I've been complaining about it for the past year. Oh, my job sucks, this and that. I want to do it, and I'm sure she's been tired of hearing that. So she's like, well, yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta go get what you want, or else you're never gonna get it, you know. So she was just clearly supportive.
That's interesting. That's interesting, and that's a lot less time than I thought you'd take.
Sorry, yeah, I can take longer if you want.
No. So,
what were you gonna ask me, Grover? I don't know if you asked already. I forgot. But
well, you see, you keep answering questions in advance. So I jotted down a few questions, and then and it's because we talk to each other, so we know each other pretty good. So you know something I would ask. I would say this. Now I would ask you to recommend to Alan something from your content that he should watch to get an understanding of how this content could be, and then how I recommended one that you're just like, man, I could have did better, and this is how the content should be.
Well, I have a huge catalog, so what I would tell them to do is just kind of like cruise through the titles, and see if any of them jump out to you. But what I would recommend to you, advice-wise, from talking to you, is don't be afraid to be a little bit more assertive with your woman. Don't be afraid to give her directions and instructions, because this is the thing. Women won't necessarily ask for them, but they might be part of her that's like, I want to be more involved. I want to do more, but I guess there's nothing to do because he's not complaining about anything and he's not telling me to do anything. So part of bonding with a woman, especially relationship wise, is giving them tasks, giving them things to do. And in this modern time, we have a lot of guys that were raised by women. So this misses them completely because it never occurred to them. It was never shown to them. They didn't observe it growing up. And nobody is giving that message today. In fact, the message that they're giving is the opposite. Don't tell women anything. Don't criticize them. Don't critique them. Don't control them. Let them do whatever they want. And it's like, actually, no, because 90% of women's problems are self-inflicted. Because when they lack leadership, they go to their friends, they go to mainstream, they go to the media, they go to TikTok, they go to Instagram. They get nothing but a bunch of bad ideas because they're just doing what they see other women doing. Guess what? Those are all women that are single, that don't have direction, don't have a purpose. They don't know what it is they want to do. And when you talk to them and they say, yeah, I'm going to school, it's like, why are you going to school? Oh, so I don't have to depend on no man. It's like, wait a minute, you're not going to school because you're passionate about the subject? No. They always told me, be independent, go to school, and don't rely on a man. Yeah. But is that what you want? Yeah, that's what I want. It's like, no, that's what you've been told to want since you were 6 or 7. So what happens is it's the blind leading the blind, or they're taking the instruction of something that's nefarious, that has a different agenda, and they don't realize it until it's too late, and they're unhappy and they're unsatisfied. And they're like, why am I so unhappy? Why am I so unsatisfied? Yeah, because you've been chasing the wrong rabbit all this time. So just try to know what it is that you want, where you see her in your life in the future. And once you've decided that, go ahead and reverse engineer it. You get what I'm saying? And backtrack, and then start giving her directions from where you are now to where it is that you want to be later.
Right. All right. So now I'm sure that Alan wants to rebut that, because he may not believe that he should give tasks to, or he may have a different philosophy. So I want to just hear his philosophy on that. And look, and by the way, I want to preface this by I surely didn't understand a lot of stuff when I was 24. So I don't expect you to come with this full-winded, like, oh, well, this is what's worked for this and that. But what do you think about being more assertive? Do you think because I know that you've mentioned that you had seen things that from I believe your family's from Argentina?
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out. I got a lot of friends in Argentina too, but shout out. So your friends from Argentina, your family's from Argentina, and maybe you've seen some things in that especially South American culture that maybe turned you off and made you not want to be more assertive. So what do you think about what Ayinde just said? And I'm gonna give you 2 minutes to just hash out those thoughts.
Maybe the way you words it, like give your woman tasks or be more assertive, that can come off as a little aggressive or a little weird. But I just have, like you mentioned, I'm 24 years old. I don't have much experience in that kind of stuff, and just being an adult in general. I just recently started, so I'm still trying to learn how to do things the right way. But I can understand the concept of like wanting to better your partner and for you to both, be a good influence on each other and help each other with things that you need to get things done. It's like a team effort. So I can respect that. And I guess as a man, you do have more of a societal role to be the leader in the relationship, maybe. And I just kind of base things off like anecdotal evidence that I've experienced in my life, because I didn't have any like male leadership in my life or male role model to teach me these things. So it's just like kind of trial and error. But there's like a healthy way to do it and an unhealthy way to do it, I suppose, of like, helping your woman be good for you and be good for herself. And I think it's just a matter of like doing it in a way that's approachable and doesn't seem like you're trying to control them, I suppose. Like you're just trying to help them help you, and it's like a team effort, as opposed to coming from a side of like, hey, I'm the man, you're the woman, you have to do this for me, and that's that, because I just feel kind of gross, doing stuff like that. So it could just be anecdotal evidence.
Okay, well, can I ask you a question? And I want to give you time to reply. Do you think women use their femininity to control men?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, both sexes use what powers they have to control each other. I mean, I think it's just the just the ones that are insecure with themselves that want to control their partner. I've seen it like in a friend's little sister. She would just do terrible things to control her 17-year-old partner because she wanted to feel more powerful or get back at him, or feel strong through his demise. And I think it's just an ego thing. Like when you know that you can control another human, you feel good about yourself because you're controlling this life, and unfortunately men are very driven by sight. So if you just dangle a carrot in front of us, we're going to want to run for it and do whatever we got to do to get that carrot. The carrot being sleeping with the woman or spending time with her, or being next in line or whatever you want to call it. It's just another unhealthy coping mechanism that people use, I suppose.
Okay, and then Yandere, I want to just give you a chance to react to women using their femininity to get what they want from a man, and I just want give you a good minute to just answer that part of it. And do you think, and how do women do it?
Okay, so the thing is that we've been conditioned lately to look at things as the actual action or the term being demonized, right? So for example, it's like, oh, toxic masculinity. All right, there's no such thing as toxic masculinity. There's masculine men that are positive and good, and there's masculine men that are toxic or bad. The masculinity itself is not what's good or bad. It's the individual. Just like a woman using her feminine ways is not evil, and it's not good. If the woman is good and her intentions are good, then her using her sexuality to manipulate a man could be for good. It could be to motivate him to be his best, to go out there and compete against other men to create the best possible outcome he can for himself. So how is it bad? Or she could use her sexuality to manipulate him out of money, control him, get him to provide utility, get him to go beat somebody up that didn't even do what she said that person did to her. So it's not the action that's good or bad. It's the person that's exercising it. So if and I don't like to use the word control. You see, we confuse leadership with control. Now, how did that happen? That's intentional. That's intentional. Okay. The powers that be have spent many decades conditioning women to look at male leadership as toxic and controlling. So telling your woman that you don't want her going out several nights of the week, getting drunk with her friends, just to go dancing and go partying and attention seeking, that's not controlling. That's protecting her from herself, because that destructive behavior is ruining her friends. Just because she has a boyfriend doesn't make her immune to those activities. But the women today see that he's controlling me. He's not controlling you. He's protecting you from yourself. Oh, if he doesn't want me to go out on a Wednesday night with my friends, then he's insecure. He's insecure because he doesn't think you need to be in some random nightclub dressed like a prostitute on a Wednesday night. He's insecure. You
All right,
see what I mean?
So let's hold on. Let me cancel the timer there. But boy, you used all of that time. By the way, you just. So Alan, I'm sure you want to retort to that, because I've seen a little facial inflection.
Yeah.
So Wednesday night twerk fest. It's all right with you or not?
Wednesday night twerking on TikTok.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that has to do with with how, maybe you're insecure with your girl's body count, or et cetera, because you've had less experience in her. But at the end of the day, I'm more of a I'm more of a hoe than my girlfriend is. So I just see it as a way to self-reflect, and I think it's weird. I know.
It's good.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to word it.
No, that's all right.
Some guys actually have trouble with girls, so it's like you're very self-aware. So I mean, it's really funny,
Yeah, because I'm comfortable in what I can provide for her. I know that I'm a catch. I know that I'm not full of myself, but I know that I'm just from what I've been told when I was single and I would go out with girls, like, oh, you have a fish tank? That's so cool. Like, oh, you actually want to talk to me after we hook up? That's cool. Like, oh, you know how to cook?
Exactly.
You have a house? Yeah. And I'm like, this is like the bare fucking minimum.
Right.
And this is supposed to be some hierarchy shit. Like all these guys are like slacking like this. So you don't have a car to pick you up. And so like I said, I'm not really insecure about my girlfriend going out to clubs. I think it's kind of fun because, I like to know that, that my girlfriend feels attractive and she gets that fun. I don't want to be. This is how I view it. If you don't like your girlfriend going out to clubs, that's your opinion. You're entitled to it. Personally, I think it's nice that she does, because then she gets to express herself. And obviously the idea with a girl going to a club is to be looked at by other guys. And like, sure, they say like, oh, it's for me and my friends. Okay, you can do that at your house with some music. You don't have to go to a club. But I understand the allure of feeling sexy.
He got club basement. You take your ass to the basement, and that's all you get to do.
Yo, if you could see my living room right now, you'd fucking laugh. But what's it called? I just think it's healthy, to be able to express yourself in that way, because when you're in a relationship, you are kind of locked down. You're not allowed to sleep with other people or flirt with other people. So, I think it's healthy to let your partner feel attractive, because at the end of the day, it's what drives us, whether we want to admit it or not. It's just, I like it when a girl hits on me in public. Am I going to do anything with it? No. But do I wish that it would never happen? No. It makes me feel good about myself. And the same goes for women. Like yeah.
All right. No. Please finish your thought, and then we'll go. Let Ayinde retort to that.
Yeah, same goes for women. Like, they know that the power they hold is attention from men, because that's just what we initiate the first contact. We chase women, et cetera, and it's just like, I'm sure that fuel is just intoxicating, and I can't blame my girlfriend for wanting to feel pretty, and as long as she doesn't do anything and I trust her, et cetera, I don't see a problem with it, and that's just my opinion.
Okay, all right. Ayinde, do you have anything? And then we're gonna let Ayinde respond to that. Then we're just gonna go through some of the comments, and because like one of the things at the Tip Network, we always try to read the comments for our folks and our supporters. I treat it like this is we're the board of a company. Right now we're managing what you see, the product, and the people who watch are investors. I always like to give them a shout out. So Ayinde, would you like to respond to that before we go give some shouts out?
One of the things I wanted to mention to Alan is that much like me, he is in a position of a type of like gray area, right? We both kind of live in a duality that's very unique to most guys. So I have to always be conscious of that, because I'm in the business of giving advice that's going to be useful to people that I can't relate to necessarily in sharing their experience. So I have to be very conscious of what works for me will not work for you. Absolutely will not work for you. Do not try this at home. So for example, Alan is a good looking dude, pause, right? I shouldn't have to say pause. I'm an adult. The next thing is he's tall. What are you, about 6'2"?
Yeah, 6'2".
Right. See, I'm a good guess because I've always seen him sitting down. But anyway,
honestly, I'm person. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's 6'2", right? He's got a athletic build. He's tatted up like the dude from Maroon 5. Okay. He has a certain type of confidence that isn't arrogant. It's natural and organic. And then he is, self-made in the sense that he is successful and will continue to become more successful. Now, with that being said, he admitted it himself. That gives you a huge margin of leeway that the average man cannot experience. And I'm going to tell you why. Even if you were the nice guy, quote unquote simp, and you were gainfully employed, if you don't have that raw animalistic attraction going for you, leeway very narrow, right? Now, if you're that guy that has that raw attraction going for you, but you don't got your finances in order, you're not 100% independent, you don't have your chivalry game together, you don't have your compassion game together, you know what I mean? You don't know how to make and maintain emotional connections with women. You're just the asshole that's like, I really got to get up early in the morning, thanks for coming, hint, 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 thanks for coming. Don't leave any toothbrushes here. So if you're that asshole, again, that margin of leeway is going to be narrow, right? So, like I said, we have this in common. So I've gotten that same feedback from women. Like, I didn't expect you to be like this. I didn't expect you to be, putting my dress in the washing machine and washing it for me so that in the morning I can leave fresh and I don't have to do the walk of shame. I didn't expect you to be making me breakfast and asking me how I like my eggs. You know what I'm saying? So, we're able to tote that thin line, but we have to be aware that the average guy cannot. So if the average nice guy was to behave like you, he'd be taken advantage of. So for you to give that advice, it's a little bit disingenuous because it's not going to work for that guy. Much like if that guy lets his girl go out just to feel good about herself, she might feel something else.
I understand.
She might feel something go up her skirt. You know what I mean? So just kind of keep that in mind. We have to understand that it is a very, very strategic game that's played between the sexes. And the problem is that art isn't being taught. And instead what you get is men are toxic. They're the problem. I hate all men. Dating sucks. is what you get from the women. And then from the guys, you get, oh, she's for the streets. These women are all thoughts. They aren't even worth treating nice or treating well. And if you do, you're a simp. And I'm going to make fun of you for holding doors and pulling out chairs and buying girls dinner on the first date. Oh, you're a loser, bro. You paid for tickets to the game. You're a simp. So, this is what we get now from the young people, right? So, like you said, you're lucky that you could not have that male role model and still come out, with some type of balance, is what I'm trying to say. Usually the men either come out extremely weak or they come out extremely toxic and aggressive and they hate women. It's one or the other. They either put the women on the pedestal or they hate the women. And this is what we get from single mothers, but nobody's allowed to say that.
Okay. Well, so I just want to give you, Alan, a chance. If anything about that you want to retort, if you feel differently, and then we're gonna close it out. So what would you say to that? What he said?
I honestly completely agree with this point because I used to be the guy that he's talking about. I used to be that like really insecure, really controlling guy, and like just aggressive, and like I wanted to take a shortcut to the road of self-reflection, and that just didn't work. And I think what he's pointing out is a fair point, but also you got to consider like you are your own maker. You got to be a little more accountable for your own actions. So if things are working out for you, is it your missing role model's fault? Is it your mom's fault? Is it your ex's fault? No, I mean, just, do your thing, figure shit out, like go find a good source of income, work out on yourself, make yourself deserve like a woman's attention in a sense, because like no one knows you anything, no one knows you anything in this world, no matter how much you think you deserve it. You don't deserve anyone's time of day. So I just figure like, it kind of sounds terrible to say, you got to make yourself deserve it. But at the end of the day, like if you want an attractive woman or if you want to be with an attractive woman, why would she want to be with you? You got to look at yourself and self-reflect. And unfortunately, that's a tough pill to swallow because then a lot of guys are like, oh, I work retail and I don't have time to work out and I don't have that much money. Okay. Are you going to keep saying that the rest of your life or are you going to do something about it? That's your only option.
If I can interrupt you.
Yeah.
95% of them will continue to say that weak shit for the rest of their lives.
And that's why you'll keep being a weak shit.
Yeah,
it's that
absolutely.
You'll be a bitch, all right, or you'll be killing it. That's it. There's nothing else. Or you can win the lottery. All right, congrats if you win the lottery.
No wonder why you and Allende like each other.
I know that.
Yeah. Like you're either gonna do it or you're not. That's it. You don't have a dad. That sucks, dude. That really sucks because I dealt with that. It sucks. Are you gonna cry about it the rest of your life? I mean, I'll probably still cry about it here and there. Sure. But I'm gonna make sure I got my money up, and I'm gonna make sure I'm working out. I'm gonna make sure I can be a provider because that's what attracts women at the end of the day. You can keep on making excuses because there's so many you can make. I hurt my back yesterday. I got to go to work tomorrow. All right, that's that. It's just cause and effect.
Hope the back injury wasn't too much. So I know for guys who build stuff, your back is everything.
I know.
Yeah. Lift with your legs, bro. Lift with your legs.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Look at this. We go OSHA. But all right. So I want to say first of all, so thank you, gentlemen, for discussing two sides of the same coin. When I say two sides of the same coin, I really believe that you both kind of believe in the same thing. I think you just want to say it differently. But I will say this to you, Alan, and this is just because I know, and I'm going to say this to Yander too, but I want to say this to you, and then I'll say something to Yander. So to you, I'll say that I discovered a long time ago as I was coming to a realization, kind of like what you came to, either you make it or you don't, right? That the world doesn't care how it delivers the medicine to you. You will receive the medicine. So the world doesn't care if you think it's bitter or not. Cotton liver oil is good for you.
Right.
And it tastes like complete and utter horse crap. And ask me how I know how horse crap, because I spent a lot of time on the farm before, and I got some big ass bully cousins. One of the reasons why I got into martial arts is to get their big asses off of me. Okay. And so I'm just telling you, it doesn't care. The world doesn't care. And so one of the things when you get a message, I say that, maybe you don't like a way that Yander says, hey, give them tasks, right? Mm-hmm. But I would always say chew the meat and spit out the bones with things of that nature. I would say that, like, I don't necessarily give my wife tasks, but what I do give her is instructions on how we can progress further in what we're trying to obtain. And it's my responsibility as the leader to not only research this and understand this, but to follow through on what I say. And she does have the leeway to say, hey, you said you were going to do this. What's our timeline with this, big guy? See, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. So I'll end by saying this. A lot of folks, when you say the hierarchy of how a household should be ran, and when they say, and regardless of your religious belief, I'm going to say God, but whatever, higher power, but God, man, woman,
child,
children, right? And a lot of women say, why do you have to be over me? And it says, because my job is to protect you. God's job is to protect me. My job is to protect you. Your job is to protect the children. And that's what it has to be, right? 100% of the time. And and then I was saying this to a lady friend of mine who, we were talking about, she's talking about a YouTube channel or whatever, and I've known her for years. And when I told her that, and she says, oh, you should have seen her face when I said that. I mean, it's like I like just said something offensive. It's like she smelled something. And I said, and like in a lot of cultures, and especially Southern culture, the woman was the head of the house, or the man was the head of the household, and the woman made the rules in the house. The man had to enforce the rules that the woman made in the house. Why? Because she was in charge of the kids, and he had to go out and earn a living. Now, I'm not saying that we live in a society where everyone's going to be just not working and this and that. But what I'm saying is that we're in a society where if we went back to some of those understandings, that we would probably have less craziness than we have right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing I'm interested in is less craziness. Because, man, about 50 years on this earth, I've seen it go from bad to worse. And we're doing the same thing we were then. Okay. So Ayinde, I want to say that. So I want to say that Alan said that he doesn't like the way things are said. Did I ask Alan a question yet? Because I was talking too long.
I'm like multitasking so much.
You're not paying attention?
You asked him. Okay. Thanks, Ayinde. Think someone's doing their job here.
Yeah, thanks. Because not like I got up early this morning and just got kicked in the ribs for 4 hours today by young fighters. So anyway, Ayinde, I would say to you, how do you think you could temper your message better so that a man like Alan can hear it? Because I think that maybe you have something that really could help that young man. Mm-hmm. How would you temper your message so a man like him could listen a little easier and not have to hit you on the gram and say, fuck off?
Honestly, I'm struggling with that. Well, I don't even want to use the word struggling. I'm under construction, basically. I'm working on that. And for now, the best way I can go about it in the meantime is to invite gentlemen like him onto my platform so that we can have the discussion and the questions can be asked and the clarifications can be made. Because I have the same issue with women, but like I told you, the initial strategy was to bring the women on so that we can do that. I could do that with the women. They could basically ask the question and have me rephrase it, because I don't know when I'm being offensive. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. So it's, it can be tough, right? So I'm not upset that anybody gets that impression. I get it. We try. And also I'm coming from, a sports background where coaches don't care about your feelings. I had a lot of men in the military in my family. They don't care about your feelings either. So that's how messages were communicated to me, very bluntly, very directly. And if you didn't like it, get your shit and get the fuck out type of attitude. And I know that doesn't work today. Because I'll tell young guys, like, I'll give you a perfect example. What Alan just said, his last statement, I agree with him 100%, but I would have said it 10 times harsher. I tell guys all the time, you're calling these women thoughts, you're saying all these negative things about these women, but let's be realistic. If these women were, a shining example of femininity and they were, perfect little creatures, she wouldn't want your fuck ass. She wouldn't want you. So even if she wasn't out clubbing, even if she wasn't dressed like that, even if she didn't have a high body count, she still would not be attracted to you, and you still would not be in a position to protect, provide, or lead. You still would be passed up. So you not having that woman in your life is not even because of the quality of women being so low. It's because even if you were lucky enough to run into said woman, neither her or her father that you would have to ask for her hand in marriage would be interested in what you have to offer. So you need to at least first qualify before you can even complain about the lack of options. That's like me going to the Benz dealership and complaining about what they got in stock, but I can't even pass the credit check. It's like, you ain't got the down payment, you can't pass the credit check. It doesn't matter what we have in stock. It doesn't matter. Right.
Okay. Well, so look, you know, first of all, I want to thank Alan for coming on and doing this. For your first time, you handled yourself admirably, sir.
Yeah,
admirably.
I'm a little nervous. I've been shaking this whole time.
No, there's no need to shake here, man. We're a big, friendly, open network here. You know, what we do here is we are a content creator network here. So we're here to help folks. And like, I'm gonna tell you folks, I hate hosting debates. I don't like to debate people. I literally, people don't know this about me, but I literally debated all the way in junior high school up to Washington, D.C. at mock trials.
You get debates all day.
Yeah, but I don't like it. Like, I like giving information to folks and just, you know, I mean, I can stand on a point, but really I just like to give information. They want the information now. But Ayinde is a dear friend of mine. And a lot of folks don't know that we're, you know, like, talk to each other weekly. We talk about
daily.
Yeah, basically.
Ayinde is the master of the long stroke on the phone.
Dude.
Man, he put lead attorney to shame.
The lead attorney be like, he's still on the monologue. I don't know if I could do this. The lead gotta litigate, but
you gotta tell a story, man.
You tell it.
Tell a story.
but so a friend of mine asked me to do something. We're men of our word. I said I do it. And and so that's how we have it. So I thank both of you for being civil. I will not have people talking over to each other, yelling over each other on my platform or insulting each other. Not this. Right now, what we're gonna do is we are going to read out some statements in the super chat.
Oh, J Worldwide TV. Jason Mayall, this is my guy right here.
Future sponsor.
So if you guys are in San Mateo, California, make sure you check out San Mateo Sports Nutrition.
Yes.
He's going to be our official first sponsor of the show.
Yes.
Nice. So this is Mr. Jason J Worldwide TV. And hopefully we're going to be doing a live stream from his studio.
Yeah, we actually have a live stream studio.
Tell him to send me some information on his product, man. I want to check it out.
All right, for sure. We will do that.
Yeah, I'm looking to promote some people on my channel too. So let's talk about it.
Look at J Worldwide. I know already the emails are fired up.
Oh, yeah. Until you see, when you interact with J Worldwide, high energy.
Yeah.
Very high energy.
So we're so I just want to thank both of you, gentlemen. What we're going to do is we're just going to go through. We're going to read some comments and read some comments, answer some comments, and then we're going to close it out. Some comments.
Oh, they're so funny.
They're funny. Realize that the Tip Network, we specialize in sarcasm. So
hey, it looks like Alec can take it though because he's been laughing.
Yeah. So you know, see the stakes are. Let's go. Let's start it there and we'll read it.
You should talk about primal studies.
Okay. So Marcus Rodriguez said, in the Hispanic communities, this is to your earlier message. What the hell are you saying about the Latino community? But you're Argentinian.
Yeah.
So you are.
Yeah, he must think I'm America. I know I pass off as a white boy from America, but I'm Hispanic. So just this is anecdotal evidence, and I just only had one lifetime to gather this evidence. So just from what I've seen, you know, it's like kind of okay in the Hispanic community.
Yeah.
To maybe like yell at your women or be a little more aggressive than other communities, and I've only lived mine, so I can only tell you that. It could be completely false. It's just anecdotal evidence from what I've seen. I'm not trying to say that Hispanic people are overly sexist towards women, or that they're more abusive towards women, like in like a grand scheme. That I probably just misspoke that, so I apologize. I don't want to, make that claim.
No, I got to back him up on that one. I'm sorry, Marcus. I got to back him up on that one. I've lived in Latin countries. I'm in a city that is very heavily Latin dominated, and I've dated majority Latin women. And when I grew up in New York, there was a huge Puerto Rican and Dominican population. I'm sorry, I got to back Alan on this one. I've seen it firsthand. I've had many Latin women tell me that their boyfriend beats on them, and their family knows about it, and they're upset with the woman. Yeah. They're like, "Well, what did you do? What did you do? Why he hit you? You know, what did you do? Why he threw you out the house?" So I'm staying
entirely out of this.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I've personally seen it too much. But hold on. But what I will say is I'm not trying to say that that's Latin men or Latin families in general, because in the Latin community, I've seen both extremes in abundance. I've seen many very good fathers and husbands, and they prioritize family overall. but I also have seen a majority of the domestic discrepancies that I've been witness to happen in that community also. And I agree that it's somewhat accepted in the culture. I just have to be honest. They look at it as that's your personal problem. I've seen Latin police respond to it like that. I've seen the police like be like, all right, they separate them and they basically tell the woman, listen, you need to do what he's telling you to do. That's your husband.
Ooh.
So
all right. Okay. So let me just shout out some folks who just stopped by to say hello before we read another comment. We got Phantom Camaro. What's up? Eddie Longs. The vital message.
Salute to you before the billions and the vital message with your named after the Caduceus shield.
The Caduceus shield.
Yeah, we're gonna make a custom made one for you.
Yeah. So
for our channel, but maybe we'll do one.
Yeah, and these are just folks here. I don't know if you're still here. I know there's a lot going on today. All
right, so then let's go read another comment here.
Marcus, Alan, you got to give credit where credit is due. The platforms that have women in their podcasts and streams is usually showing quality of opportunity and debate discussion. Okay, not sure what platforms he's talking to. I think Ayinde actually released some videos where it was a really good discussion with some ladies. Where he was behind the camera and they had all the camera time. So I think I think that would be one that I was going to suggest that you read it. Then
again with Marcus Rodriguez.
Marcus, no honest guy cares about a PhD and master's at the point the guy should say, "Oh damn, college debt."
That's true too.
And then we have another one from Marcus. Now, if the girl doesn't have a GED or a diploma from high school, that might be an issue for me. What did Nixon say? Nixon says, shouldn't they be attracted to you and not them to want to be attractive to others? Interesting. Pro Fawan.
Absolutely.
Oh, what's up, Pro Fawan? What's up, my brother? How you doing,
Nixon,
sir?
Real quick, can Nixon drop me an email, man? I want to get on his channel and do a stream with him or do a collaboration with Nixon.
Oh, well, we're in contact with Nixon a lot, so I'll connect you folks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree with this comment. By the way, I do. The main focal point should be you, obviously, because they're dating you. But like I said, unfortunately, Nixon, your girlfriend still wants to be perceived as attracted by other men, whether you want to admit it or not.
Nixon, a player. He got like 8 girlfriends. He ain't listening to a woman.
Yeah, with that accent and that DJ career, I know.
I'm telling you, Nixon be on a yacht once a month laughing at us.
I'm surprised he's not in Miami for Ultra.
He probably don't want to go to. He probably can't leave Miami. You know, Australia locked down off and on.
Oh,
let's see. All right, now we're gonna go to Primal Studies. I know.
Wait, this is too funny. I know Marcus Rodriguez. You've been dominating our chat right here, but this one was good.
Yeah.
Privilege is invisible to those who have it. Thanks a lot, 62 sons of chat.
You know what? I used to be a 6'2", lanky ass little boy. All right, so make it what you want to be. You could be a short guy and you could be jacked. All right.
Oh, you really?
Everybody has a starting point, man. Everybody has a starting point.
Okay, so here's Primal. Is that a nose ring on that guy?
And then he follows up with,
because if he has a nose ring, disqualified
for what? He mentioned another comment where he said he wouldn't hire me or let me date his daughter. Anyways, you're the reason why I started my own business, because of punks like you judging me, and you're the exact kind of guy. I love dating your kind of daughters because I love going up to you and letting you know that your daughters fucking love me and they will keep on loving me. You can tell them all you want. Oh, he's a bad guy. They're gonna love me.
Time out.
You guys are about to be friends.
I know.
Starts out. No, I'm about to date his daughter. Yeah, that's what happens.
His daughter. First of all, his daughter is a child, so calm down.
Never mind. Yeah.
Second of all, Primal is a good dude.
Yes, he's one of our guys.
He's been talking a lot of smack for a good.
Yeah, dude. You have to understand. People talk a lot of smack. You was talking smack online to this guy. Come on.
Yeah. On these YouTube streets, people are gonna be talking smack. The main thing is to maintain your frame.
Yeah.
Because guys will be testing you on here.
All right, so let's see.
Great value, Jax Teller. Yeah,
Great value, Jax Teller.
That was fun.
That's dope, dude.
I get MJK a lot. Yeah.
Then, all right, and actually, Marcus Rodriguez.
Hey, laugh a lot. Chicks dig biker, bad boy, chads with tats, wild hogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. What kind of bike you got?
Me, motorcycle. It's a 2015 Victory cross country, like a big fat cruiser, basically.
Victories are nice.
Damn.
All right, so let's see. Let's skip through this.
And we got J Worldwide TV. Well done, fellas. Another great show. Appreciate the people who talked today. Thank you for the super chat once again.
Got 15 minutes on
Happy Kingdom. Salute panel. Peace to Allende.
Yes, hey, what up, my dude? That's my boy right there.
Well, we'll tell.
Oh, that is?
Yeah.
Happy Kingdom, bro. Text me, man. I gotta jump on there. We gotta do something.
All right.
Yeah, we linked up in Vegas and we did a collaboration in Vegas, man. It was dope.
Wow. No one is safe. Here we go.
All right, and
we all bag on each other. It's part of being here.
Yeah, so that's what he's extending the olive branch out there.
Yeah, man, we're just having fun with it.
We just talk crap. I know you just.
Hey, welcome to the club, Alan.
Guns blazing. Jesus. Yeah. All right, so what is Birdie says level up the likes.
But we do have to run. We got about 20 minutes of pair, and like always, last minute pre-production. But at least I got a good amount.
But last thing Primal said, right? Last thing Primal said. But good for you starting your own business.
There we go.
Right
there we go.
Right I'm gonna blush now.
Yeah. Don't blush, dude. Because you got kind of. What does KO Fit say? I didn't know this was happening. Hey,
we didn't know this was happening.
I
was like, hey,
I didn't know it was happening, man.
All right.
Ayinde bullied us into a live stream. He just sent a damn text message of his bicep.
I said, what are you guys doing on Sunday night? I said, no, you're not. You're doing this
a lot. I said, I don't know. We got a stream coming up, and
it's like, hey, Duke's my friend, all right? So we can squeeze this one in. Too.
Yeah.
Right. Let's do it, man.
So, everybody to chat. If you stick around with us for 15 more minutes after we end this, we'll be on live. Again with Duke and Don. Ayinde, we'll drop you the link if you want to talk some stuff. If you got anything,
I'll stop by. I gotta see Duke, bro. I haven't seen Duke in a minute. He's starting to think I don't love him no more.
Yeah. So just respect. Next stream is the next stream is titled "A Rapper in the Most Dangerous Job in the World," and just preference in 2021, 258 rappers perished. That's one rapper every 1.25 days.
But we are,
So we got to go.
We got to get going. But I'm gonna actually drop you, Ayinde, and I'm gonna drop you, Alan. But actually, shout out your channel really quick, Ayinde, just to let people know. I mean, people know, but hey, might as well do it again. Why not?
Man. Come over, come support me on Authentic Alphas. I'm working hard to make it as much of a community experience as possible. About a month's time, we're going to be doing live in studio audiences with the live streams, something that nobody else is doing. If they steal my idea, I'm going to kick in their door without the fourth floor. And we're going to keep programming, the schedule. We're going to do everything that we're already doing, we're going to do, but we're also adding more also. So stay tuned for that, but definitely support the channel. Like, share. I got some more interesting interviews coming up with men you would never think that I'd be, bringing on. Gonna be working on the book by fall. So just come over, man.
All right.
So then, Alan, then I'm gonna let you go and promote yourself.
My Instagram, Biker Menace, but I got a TikTok and a spicy Twitter for my OnlyFans, Grillin, GRILLIN. Come pay me to be pretty because it's not gonna last too long. So.
Wow. All right. Well,
so that's
I'm an opportunist. You know what I mean? So.
Okay. Well, there we go. I want to thank everybody for your time. And we got a boogie.
Wait, before that, I'm going to drop you guys now. Thank you for coming on to our stream and debating and having a cordial debate. Getting heated a couple times, but I mean, I kind of wish I saw the first conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, the audio didn't record, man. Oh my God.
All right, so I'm going to drop you guys right now. So thank you. Have a good day.
All right, thanks.
All
right, close it out, Grover. Let's do this.
All right, guys. So once again, it's a Tip Network exclusive. We brought you the one and only debate that we'll probably ever have here. Especially
we'll probably could do more.
No.
Moderate.
But I'm Grover. You can catch me at I am Gorilla1. On the gram, you can catch this guy at Scott.TIEEE. That's 3 E's on the gram. You can follow us at all social media networks at the Tip Network,
THPP Network, consolidated
to all things.
Networks.
And
make sure you like and subscribe.
If you haven't already, check out. We have over 200 videos of great product. Live streaming weekly now, but you can ask yourself one.
No, wait, hold on. And the question of the day is, who do you agree with? Do you agree with Biker Menace and his views? Or do you agree with Ayinde of Authentic Alphas and his views?
When we start doing questions on live streams, we never do questions on live streams.
Well, I mean, this is like people,
whatever. Yeah, ask yourself the question: who do you agree with? And you can ask yourself this question: one burning question: can you handle the tip? We're out.
Going all in.
Booty in your face. Boom.
Never pulling out.
Jesus Christ.